Alrighty then, it's match day 6. This is the Richmond Gooners podcast coming to you live from Gus's Bar and Grill. As always, I am Ryan here with Tom.
In my opinion, that sucked.
And with Joey.
You see these two puppies in the yard? No, I'm upstairs going hard.
And with Will.
Yeah.
So that sums it up.
Disgraceful performance.
Well, I wouldn't.
By the ref.
There you go. Exactly.
We actually were largely dominant for large portions of that match.
61%.
We were.
Possession.
And, you know.
Man United today against us were a classic Crystal Palace team where they soaked up pressure and hit us on the counter.
Right.
And you know what? You can beat good teams doing that.
Yep.
That is a thing that can happen.
It was like an FA Cup.
But that's not what Man United should aspire to be. They should not aspire to be a counter-attacking team against Arsenal. So I look at that as a mark in our favor.
And I think they've already been found out a bit. And I think they're maybe going to get a little bit more found out. But listen, all credit to Man United. Referee 3, Arsenal 1, but all credit to Man United. It's all good. And I'm looking at the table right now, and number 1 still says Arsenal. Who would have thought that?
I know.
Who would have thought that we put ourselves in a position to be able to absorb this loss and still be top of the table?
Now, part of that is due to City dropping points inexplicably, but at the same time, like, we've done the work that's required of us.
Because I have what I think it might be a decent explanation for it.
All right, well, fair. But
we'll touch on that a little later.
We'll get to that. So
I have my TD Jakes prayer cloth here.
It's for those of you who might be wondering, by the way, this is not like Richmond Gooners formal, and we all forgot Joey is on his way to a wedding. So just in case you're wondering,
it's Richmond Gooner Daniil and Bailey. Their wedding is today.
And
so my wife
Daniil was in fact here.
Daniil showed up today. My God. So I was like, how am I dressed for your wedding and you're not dressed for your wedding?
That man starting off his wedding on
he said,
strange
because I have priorities.
Yeah. which hey, if she's not listening, but if she was, sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's the away match at Old Trafford, which I feel like you, Tom, have said like more than once. This is your favorite match of the year.
It is. So even though I've been to London and discovered that Tottenham hates us more than anything, and I get that, the venom, but here in the U.S. there aren't as many Tottenham fans,
right.
And here in the U.S. there are arguably more Man United fans than anything in the world, and they're kind of going away. But Man United, especially going back to the early 2000s, they were the ones.
Sure.
And it wasn't just like we were competing. We were the ones at each other's throats. And when you drop points to a club like them, it stings extra, especially in person when there are actual Man United fans that can look you in the eye.
Right.
And they are not good. To steal one of my favorite quotes from Big Shaq, like, "You're not good, fam. You're not good." Man United, I will die on this hill. They are not a good football club. They're fucking not a good football club. So to lose to them, I feel like Kadeem Hardison and White Man Can't Jump. Like, if I lose you, have to go home and kill myself. I have to go home and kill myself now.
Please don't go home and kill yourselves.
Yeah, it's just an exaggeration, but it just really You
want to beat them more than you want to beat almost anybody else.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And the thing is, like, man, I really wanted us to go up there and win today. And to a degree, I was expecting a win. But also, I am unbothered in the sense that they did not dominate us.
No, they didn't.
We were not terrible. And I will say our new Jesus, William Saliba, made 1 or 2 mistakes today. Nobody wants to say it because we all love him, but I try to be impartial. I try to call it as I see it.
I said it.
He's made some mistakes. Yeah, and I think Will and I agree on this, but I'm unbothered because these things will happen in clashes with when Big Six meet Big Six,
especially away.
Away. And listen, we go to Manchester United to play in Manchester with a Mancunian referee. We could never expect, and Arteta will have prepared them for this. We can't expect any calls to go our way. And as much as I don't love referee blaming because it seems to take a, it can be seen as
it's weakness.
But the referee was really, really poor, I thought. And we all know Paul Tierney. I think he's the new Mike Dean. Somebody had to step up and fill that role.
He even shaved his head.
Being the fucking cunniest cunt to ever cunt. But he stepped up and filled that role. and he was poor today. But there are some things that we should have done better as well. So I don't think we were quite as physical enough. But also, it's like when we got physical, he was handing cards out.
We were penalized and they were not.
He couldn't wait to get the fucking card out of the book and show it to one of our players. It was wild to me. But again, there are things that we could have done better. But like I said, man, we put ourselves in a position to absorb this loss if we were to lose, which happenstance we did lose.
Right.
But I'm still filled with encouragement about the season.
Will, that goal was coming back.
The first one? No, sure.
The goal against Martinelli. We knew that was coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, we knew it was coming back once VAR came in.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and the Robbies actually talked about this in the post-match.
Why was it even allowed to go on?
So they even said that Paul Tierney was in perfect position
to call it right then
to see it,
yeah.
And he said no. He said no live. And what they talked about was once VAR says, "Hey, go take a look at that," there has to be clear and obvious error. And in my opinion, did Odegaard not make a play on the ball? 100%. But did Eriksen have 100% control of that ball? No. He took a touch. It went way off to his right. He then flings his right leg out to try to keep that ball on his feet. Odegaard, that's when the contact then happens. But there was not clear and obvious control of that ball.
It's like a 50-50 call.
Right. It's a 50-50
so
call.
You should never overturn a 50-50 call.
Well, look, because here's what I'm going to get at.
And it's not VAR. When it's 50-50, it's not a VAR.
Yes,
it
correct.
doesn't merit.
So, because here's what I'm going to get at. Is Jesus in the first 2 minutes, shoulder to shoulder with Lisandro Martinez, bodies him out of the way. That's a 50-50 ball where that kind of stuff, that's going to happen. No foul called on that because it's a 50-50 ball.
Which is okay, but stay consistent.
Yep. Lisandro then takes out Gabriel Jesus. We get the foul, but no yellow. Literally sweeps the leg, takes him out. Right? So if it's not a foul to do 50-50 at the end line, how is it a foul at the midline?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and to play devil's advocate, Dave pointed this out during the game. I feel like if the roles were reversed and we saw that, we would be screaming foul. I think we would.
But if the roles were reversed, VAR would have never even called that.
Well, and yes, they would never go into VAR. Yes, and that's the thing. And so I fully agree that was a foul. It was a foul. He chose not to call it, which could be just the way he wants to call the game, which is a whole other question. But that's the thing. It's like the application of VAR has always been the rub, right? Where it's either being applied where you have to get a fucking micrometer out to measure someone's ball hair offside, which is not the spirit of the rule, or you have a situation like this where, like, it was like, to your point, Will, he pretty clearly was like, nope, no foul.
Yeah.
And it was not like the kind of thing where, like, all of a sudden he got his eyes gouged out. It was like, okay, yeah, there was some contact. So, like, what are we trying to accomplish with VAR? To get every single call right, or to only deal with egregious errors?
Because
here's the question.
Yeah, because here's my point also is Saka then in the second half gets blatantly taken out after he takes a
Jesus
shot.
was bear hugged during one of the attacks.
Never a word.
And VAR said check complete in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
In 5 fucking seconds.
Right.
It's like
And
when
I
you
don't
call
cuss.
somebody.
I do not cuss on this. I rarely cuss. 5 fucking seconds. Check complete.
Yeah. It's like, calling somebody and you know they don't want to take your call and it goes right to voicemail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arsenal went for VAR. The call you're trying to reach. It was just like that.
Yeah.
It was
So, yeah.
Man United, England's darlings.
Yeah.
If we play them 10 more times, we win 7.
Yeah.
Easily.
We win
Well, and
7.
this whole game, I mean, like I said during the game, like when we had the ball in the attacking third, we were buzzing, we had energy, we were ready to go. When they had the ball, they were feeling us out. They were just kind of probing for a weakness. Like I think it's fair to say we were the better team today.
Yes.
It was like playing a Mourinho team. It was really like playing a Mourinho team.
Which you don't expect from United because, again, like these are supposed to be two equals going at it, but they were playing as though they were Bournemouth.
They were playing tackle.
I'd say they were a classic Crystal Palace team.
They were playing tackle football and counterattack.
Marcus Rashford will not score another goal until 2023.
Yeah.
And he fucking scored one today with his
Scored two.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that third goal was like that. We were going for it because we had to at that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's I thought the score line was a little harsh or actually quite harsh on us.
Yes.
Because we were the better team for most of the game, and I feel that both of their first 2 goals came against the run of play.
Hey, keep in mind this too, and I said this the moment they scored that third goal. If Paul Tierney just told them to take it back 15 yards on that throw-in because he walked 15 yards up the freaking field, and yes, I counted. He walked 15 yards up the field, threw the ball in. That little bing bong bing bullshit wasn't ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
Play it.
Bing bong.
Yeah.
Bing bong.
Fucking fader was down.
It would have never have occurred. It would have never have occurred because they literally try to clear the ball out, gets a lucky deflection off their player. Oh, now we're in possession. Now
Yeah.
here you go on the counter.
Yeah, well, and like Ross was talking after the game, like that we came out flat in the first 15, and he's not wrong. Like I saw there was some stat like
It took us a few minutes to
it
grow
took us a minute
into
to get
the
there,
game.
and there was a stat
Yeah,
about
it did.
passes completed was like 113 to 26 or some shit like that
I
in
think
the
it was
first
36.
bit.
I think it was 36.
Yeah, and so we were not on the front foot for the first 15 minutes, but also all those passes and all that possession, they weren't really threatening
It was
in that
fuck all.
time.
It was fuck
it
all
was
shit.
nothing.
Yeah.
And so and after that, for the entire rest of the first half, we were the better team by far.
Yeah.
And even coming out of halftime, we were the better team, and then a couple goals against the run to play happened. But let's circling back to the start of the game, talk about the lineup. I mean, I for one anyway, when you see the injury report midweek after the Villa game, you think, oh God, we're going to have Richmond kickers legend Matty Turner in goal.
Yeah.
We're going to have, no Zinchenko, no Odegaard. It's going to be a bit of a patchwork team. And sure enough, they're all ready. That's some Belichick level fucking media manipulation,
Yeah.
I think.
To fuck with the betters, 100%.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. We should have done better. We just should have done better. I know Sammy Lukonga was not poor today.
He was good today.
I thought
He was
it was
good. But if we have Thomas Partey, we win that game.
I agree with that.
I
agree with that, but I'm not putting any blame on Sambi. Sambi
Sambi
did his job.
I thought he played very
But
well.
I
today.
do agree on your statement that if Partey's in this game, I definitely think that
Right.
shuts down most of their counter.
He would, he would have helped with the physicality.
Yes.
and
Yes.
just his ability to read the game from his position is considerably better than Sammy. And Sammy is 21 and Partey is 29.
Yeah.
So that happens when you just have more experience.
I mean,
Until he's 30.
Yeah,
For fuck's sake.
At the end of the day, I mean,
Pepe went to Nice on loan.
Pepe was joined Nissan loan.
yeah,
We were murdering them on the flanks.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Because-
absolutely. Their
Martinelli and
wingbacks
Saka.
had nothing for Martinelli
they
and
had
Saka.
to double team him every time.
And
in the
I'm actually
second
kind of shocked that we did not. That should have been the strategy in the second half. Just keep coming at them on the wings. I don't want it down the middle because down the middle is where
That's what
we're
you
struggling.
half. Well, we had to start doing that because they started double teaming us in the second half on the wings.
Yeah,
So then
every
we
time
started-
Martinelli and Saka got the ball, two dudes came
literally
right at him.
literally every time.
But we need to be clever. We need to be clever.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Here's the thing. I actually don't think really. The majority of our lineup, I think, actually played a really good game.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
There's two people that I feel like played very poor, and it was both our center backs. I think
Yeah.
Gabriel and Saliba just didn't look like they had that same connection that they have had in the first 5 games. I felt like they were out of position a lot. They were turning the wrong way, which got them a step or two behind. So, bad games are going to happen. I know that. I just hope that it doesn't continue for consecutive games. You know what
I
I'm
don't think
saying?
it will.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Gabriel escaping. As poor as the refereeing was, Gabriel escaping the yellow.
Yeah, that's fair.
For that challenge in the first goal. That was. I thought we were going to get a goal against and a yellow for our
Yeah.
trouble. So I'll give Paul Tierney that. What the hell? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, no.
What?
And part of that is like we really haven't been vulnerable to a counter, yet this year. It's a situation they haven't been in game minutes.
Well,
for a
Palace
while.
countered, but we held it pretty good.
I feel like our midfield was a little bit more active in the Palace game at
Yeah,
slowing the counter
yeah.
down, whereas our center backs are a little bit more exposed.
And
today.
why was that? Because we had Partey on the
Well,
field.
yeah.
Right. It's been said on this podcast before, Partey is our best player. Face value, yes, people will say Gabriel Jesus is our best player because he scores goals. However, if you want to win matches, your number 6, defensive midfielders, people that follow the game, study the game, number 6, that is the
Yeah.
person that wins you the games. People that watch, let's say, the NFL even, they're like, the quarterback is the key. Bullshit.
Yeah.
The fucking
Offensive
middle
line.
Yeah, offensive line, middle linebackers, the water carriers.
Yeah.
And
But the summer that we got Partey, it was him and who was the other midfielder we were linked to? It was
Bruno Guimaraes.
no. It was damn it.
defensive midfielder?
No, it was an attacking mid. He was,
Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, maybe?
No,
When was this? When were we linked?
it was the summer that we got Partey.
Husam Awar.
Yes, Auer. That's
Yeah,
right.
Auer, yeah.
And so it was Partey and Auer, the two guys that were rooting for us. And
I want us to get both of them.
Well, I mean, yes, true. But, and I want to say it was Short Fuse on Twitter. I can't remember exactly who had this line, but they said, Auer makes us better, Partey transforms us.
Yes.
And I think
It was,
that's true.
It was Tom Canton, the Gooner Talk.
Was
said
it?
that.
Okay.
He
And
said
it is. And
Thomas
he-
Partey is a transformative player.
Right. Like, Aouar is one of those, like, I don't want to call him a luxury player, but he's very much an attacking guy and whatever else. But, like, Partey is that midfield general who's, like, to your point, Tom, who sees things and anticipates things more than anybody we have right now. And, I mean, he's going to be missed when he's hurt, you know? And, like, as much as, and we'll get into the window in a bit, as much as, you know, you want to have more players like that, there aren't that many players like that. Right? Like we signed him for that reason. When he's out, we're going to suffer. That's the nature of it.
It is, yeah, it's really hard to take because Kieran Tierney's received a lot of negative comments because he only plays 58% of the time. But Thomas Partey is right up
Same
there
deal.
with him.
Yeah.
His thigh is
And that's
constantly
the problem
hurt.
is that Partey and Tierney are two of our most important players, and they're two of our least reliable players injury-wise.
Here's the thing. At least Partey, every time he's been injured for us, I think it's always his quad. Always.
thigh, yeah.
Thigh, quad, whatever. And I feel like at least with Tierney,
Where are you going with that? How is this going to happen?
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for
where
the
the fuck
logistics
is
of
that?
this.
Yeah.
Tom is shoveling all of the... okay, so for those who are not watching on YouTube, Tom took all of the toppings for his chicken sandwich, shoveled that shit on top of the fries. He's going to try to one-hand
I'm
this.
trying not to get attention right now.
Bro,
Well, no,
bro,
sorry.
Don't eat
sorry.
that shit in the mic.
It's
I don't want to hear you
No,
fucking
we're
shit
not
in
going
the
to hear
mic.
it. I'm just waiting for something to fall on your
ASMR,
face. It's going to be
ASMR, do it.
something. But yeah, no, I mean that's.
But I get talked over all the time on here, and then the time I'm trying to avoid the fucking mic.
Don't act like you don't talk over people, dude. We all talk over each other. It's all good.
All right. But
All right, well, let's leave him alone. Let's leave him alone.
what was? And now I don't even remember the point I was trying to make.
I forgot where we were too. It's that's my bad. I caused that.
Yeah. Now I remember. Tierney's injuries, at least, are always
A
different.
guy in Pedro
That's
Ada
true.
Hoochie Daddy shorts just walked in here.
Oh shit.
Shout out to Pedro Ada. This guy is giving you a run for your money, bud.
But Tierney's injuries are different.
Yeah, Partey's the
the
same
fact
thing.
that Partey is
Yeah.
always the same
Yeah.
injury. I mean, that is clearly a lingering injury that is never going to go away.
Well, and like those weird muscle things, that's how they work, right? Like
Yeah.
Tierney, like if you know, like was it a meniscus?
Oh,
or?
please don't parlay this to we should sell Thomas Partey.
No, not at all.
hell
No.
I was just saying.
I'm just saying, like it's one of those
Thought
things
you were
that
about to turn into Arsenal Twitter for a second.
Hell
hell
no.
no.
But like you know, if you tear a knee ligament or like fuck up your ankle or your Achilles, like that shit happens.
Yeah.
But like those muscle things, man, it's just
Lingering
it's so
issues.
hard to
But-
tell
but-
when
but
to bring
also-
someone back.
We can buy a player from another league and bring them to the most physical and most difficult
Yes, I
league
think that
into
is
the-
what
in
happened
the
to him,
world.
yes.
And sometimes these things happen because the physicality. When you're going up against, let's say somebody like Pedri or Gavi again at Barcelona. These are 5'7", diminutive, not strong. They the best they can do is dribble past you with their supreme technical skill, which they have in spades. But when you come here and you're in midfield and you're going against Wilfred and Ndidi and guys of that sort of ilk, and you know
Things of that nature.
Yeah, those are the guys that you're playing against that have technical skill, but they're also stronger than Cat P. It's a little different. We bought him, and he didn't seem to be injury prone from
Agreed.
from
Agreed.
Atletico, and I don't really believe in the concept of injury prone. I don't believe that someone is genetically predispositioned to get more injuries.
Unless your name is Derrick Rose.
I believe that. I don't believe that he is either. I think he is a victim of. He has too many fast twitchies that he developed over time. And when you have so many fast twitchies, it's like. But then again, so does Russell Westbrook, and he's gone through his career largely uninjured.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that just
No, it
kind of
is.
happens.
And this is not
Injury
meant to
prone
be
is
a-
not a thing.
I mean, I feel like
that kind of what you just said there kind of backs up what Ryan was saying about in a physical league, it's expected that some of the injuries that Tierney gets are going to happen.
Sure.
Now, the first quad, thigh, whatever you want to say, injury to Partey, physical league, right? But since then, every time he's gone down with an injury, it's
But this is
always
not a
the
quad
thigh.
injury; it's a hamstring injury, right?
No, it's a
a
quad.
thigh.
Shit. Shows how much I know.
So here's
I
my
guess.
here's where I'm going
Can
with
we
this.
cut that out?
This is
No,
not
I'm
this is not a knock on Partey.
No, not
this
at all.
Is,
Not at
this
all.
is my question is, you know, is it number one? Is it the management of said injury? Like we saw last year when
I like our medical staff.
I
I
do
like
too.
Gary O'Driscoll.
I do
think
too.
he knows what's
Yeah.
up.
But
I
we
think
saw
that-
last year Tomiyasu rushed back against Liverpool, and then he was out for an extended period of time.
Yes.
missed the rest of the
I think
season.
since then
And
Gary
so-
O'Driscoll's like y'all fucking
Right.
listen to what I
Right.
say.
And I think that's
Yeah. I
why
think that
Partey
was a
has been
big
out
deal.
because Partey,
Yeah.
like it was rumored last week during the game last weekend that Partey and Zinchenko were both just precautionary, right?
Right.
And Partey still hasn't played. I feel like now the training staff is getting
Yeah.
like their voice heard. It's like I think that's an improvement.
Yeah, well now it's listed that he's going to be out for a few weeks.
Right,
So
which-
I mean, we might not see him for 2 or 3 more weeks.
And that's not great, but at least like there's some amount of confidence of we're not going to rush him back. But my point is that like this has happened multiple times, and I guess now's the time to get into it. Like, you need to bring somebody in knowing that Partey is going to be hurt.
I mean, we brought in
bunch.
Zinchenko knowing that Tierney's going to get hurt.
And
Right.
we also tried.
But
We tried.
Zinchenko is depth
Also-
for left back
I know,
and
I know,
center
I
back.
know.
Yes, yes.
I mean, so we already have
But we
Sambi,
need
who
both.
we believe in, and we're developing for depth
And
in,
3
in that
failed
deep
pitch.
midfield-
Yes.
3
midfield
failed pitch
position.
for Douglas Luiz.
And that's all true, but you talk about starting this week, the fixtures are going to come hot and heavy. We're going to
Yep.
need rotation players, and that's what we don't have now.
I agree, but also I have stopped believing in the warm body theory. I've stopped believing just get anyone.
Okay.
Because even like last year and 2 years ago, it's like, oh, just get anyone. And this team has proven that especially recently when we buy a player, damn near everyone since Pepe. So like Pepe the last one, and then everything since then. Like if we buy, it's going to be the right buy, or we'd rather not buy.
No, I
it's
know.
going to be the right player. And,
know,
and
Pepe
clearly
went to
we-
Ni- he went
we
to Nice on loan.
Yeah,
He
I don't
did
know
go to
if
Nice on loan.
everyone heard, but
Someone
yeah.
tell Rob Van Dyke the Pepe's at Nissan.
yeah, I think I'm coming around to their school of thought, and that I would rather have no one than just a warm body
Okay.
to be there.
So
Because
saw,
what good is a warm body if he's trash?
Well,
You know
yeah,
what
I mean, I hear that. So here's
I would have liked
my-
Douglas Luiz.
Well,
Yeah,
he's not
here's
a warm body. He's a quality
He's a really good player,
Here's-
and he's worked with Arteta before.
Here's a little bit of a rebuttal to that. I think I know it's less. I can't remember if it was 24 or 26, but at the end of the transfer,
24 is less than 26.
No, I know, but no.
He's 20
We have 23.
he's 24 and
On
he's
our-
26.
No, just listen. On our senior roster right now, we have 23 listed players. 23. We are not adding anyone until January. That's if we add anyone.
At least.
At this point, at the end of the transfer window last year, when we had no European football, none.
We had 18, I think.
No. We had 24 or 26 listed players on our first
Yeah,
team.
even Pablo Marie.
So the loan,
Oh,
because
yeah.
all those loans happened in January.
Yeah,
not
sure.
Right.
Sure,
I know.
sure.
So,
But for the last half of last season, we had 18
Right.
at senior.
But
After,
what I'm-
after all the January
Yeah.
loans, yes.
but my whole point of saying that is we are now playing European football.
with the roster smaller
we now
than last
have
year.
a Carabao Cup coming up, right? So and the Carabao Cup is where you play your
And we can still bring up youth guys for that.
And historically, we have done so in those. That is a part of the ethos of this club.
Okay.
Is giving the kids like Patino's gone to I think Blackpool on loan, but giving kids
Yeah.
a chance to play in this competition.
Well, then
also,
we'll-
Fabio Vieira will probably start in those games.
Nketiah.
Nketiah will start.
No,
in
I
those
know
games.
that.
Like,
I know
still.
that. But it's still, if one of those goes down, now we're down to 22.
Yeah, and that's,
Sure, but I mean, what's the argument of we should have 40 players on our first team squad?
No, no,
'Cause
no.
if
Well,
I'm just
12 of them
saying-
go
no.
down.
I'm just
It's like
saying that-
at a certain point we have to. have the
I'm
squad and
just
believe in it,
saying
right?
that we definitely could have gotten Tielemans. We
Well-
100% could have gotten him. Leicester was not asking for much more than what we were already offering. on a bid.
Absolutely, we could have gotten him, but also I think it will prove to be probably a financially prudent decision to sign him this summer, or not this
the
summer,
summer,
but
next
next summer,
summer, yeah.
for free.
Well, and
I
here's
think
the
we're
thing.
I think we're gonna get him in January.
And I think we will
Might get him in January,
And I
yeah.
think we will end this season in a European spot.
Yeah.
So,
But
and
here's
I
the thing
don't
about
think
that.
I don't think Tielemans would have been the difference between us finishing second and first this year.
No.
So if we finish second this year, I don't think Tielemans will catapult us to
But
first.
at the same
I
time,
want him,
though-
and I love him. I love
Yeah,
his
yeah.
game.
His assist today was
But also-
brilliant.
Also, Granit Xhaka is playing maybe the best he's ever played
Sure.
right now for our club.
Yes.
Zinchenko is depth in that position. Even ESR is depth in that position, and even Fabio Vieira is depth in that position, and Sambi Lukonga. So
look, I do
have a lot of depth there.
I want to make a statement here. I know Zinchenko can play midfield, but that is not the priority and primary reason why we got him. The primary reason was to have him as left back.
Left back, yeah.
In my
get it.
opinion,
I
think it's 50-50. We got him as left back cover and midfield cover.
I don't think.
But
It's
the thing is,
I
we
don't
need-
think you've watched enough Ukraine games, bro.
But we need
brilliant.
coverage at both. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Is we have
Right.
problems at both. And to your, I don't know who said it in our group chat earlier this week, but like, City is faltering. Liverpool is faltering. I think it
Right.
was you, Joey. Like, we can pull a fucking Leicester this year.
That was me.
that was Tom
Okay,
that said the
Tom.
Leicester
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
And so it's just like, that's the thing. It's just like, look, you
We have to take advantage of this. This
Right,
is why I'm
right.
upset about the loss today. I get it. We're still top of the league, but we have to be greedy.
Yeah.
Because you look at Man City and Liverpool, every point counts.
But we were never going to win 38 games this season.
well, no, not
But-
at all. But
And I agree with you.
wait.
Every point counts. But we've again. I don't know how many times I have to say it. We put ourselves in a position to absorb this loss if it happened to
Sure.
come. It happened to come. B, I don't know about you. I can only speak for myself here. But I am still, even after the loss today, I'm still extremely encouraged about
I mean, I am too.
what we can do with this season and where we can finish this season. See, I think it's specifically talking about Man City. Erling Haaland might score 40 goals this year.
He will definitely
But their
score
team
40
has their team has gone through a fundamental change where if he doesn't score goals, they might not score. The team is literally Erling Haaland centric right now.
Yeah.
And I think they've done themselves maybe a little bit of a disservice by kind of being that, because if he has an off game, which everybody does,
Sure.
and this guy's better than everybody else, but he's going to have an off game. He's already had a game
did yesterday.
where he didn't score a goal. So it's I think they're doing themselves a disservice. Liverpool, I think, is just their midfield is aging. I think Mane's loss is a bigger thing than they could have ever imagined. And
Solid.
Well, and
I
Van
think-
Dijk
I think
is starting to
they're-
decline.
Yeah, Van Dijk is that would be maybe the most worrisome thing to me if I'm Jurgen Klopp or if
Virgil
I'm
van Dijk.
FSG or the Liverpool board. Virgil van Dijk is like
He's getting
it's-
exposed.
It seems like
Yeah,
it might
yeah,
be
he
a
is.
rapid decline.
Yes.
Dare I say an
Instant.
Aubameyang style decline?
I mean, you're not wrong.
But
I mean,
it looks like a rapid decline. I don't know what you guys think.
The
but-
difference between match day 38 Virgil van Dijk and match day 1 of this season.
Oh, it's like-
yeah,
it's
it's
like a
if
shell of the player.
So I always try to, not that I'm trying to give him a FIFA rating, but if I had to rate Van Dijk at the end of last year out of 100, the rating would be somewhere in like the low 90s.
yeah, right now I'm saying
91,
like
92,
70.
93.
Right now I'm saying mid 80s at best.
Like, and so it's gone down like 5 to 8 points, I think,
Yep.
of
Yep.
like, so where Van Dijk was the clear,
The
like,
best, yeah, center back
creme
in the
de la
league.
creme.
Yeah.
So now it's like, if I think about the best center back in the league, like there are a few names that I think I would maybe rather have right now than Van Dijk. Saliba being one of them, even with
Yeah.
his mistakes today.
Agreed.
Ruben
Agreed.
Diaz.
Well, because
Laporte.
Saliba has upside.
Yeah. Varane has looked good in the last
Yeah.
few games.
Laporte looks really good so far this
Yeah,
year.
Laporte. I've always been a fan of
Same.
Laporte.
Agreed.
He is just a fucking classy player. Ruben Diaz is more of a brute than him, but Laporte is just he's that guy. That profile of player is why Mikel wanted a player like Gabriel. He tried to do it like a poor man's Laporte with Pablo Mari, and it didn't quite work out. But that left-footed ball playing sort of center back, a little bit better on the ball than most of your average center backs. That's kind of why he wants that profile. I think is because of the profile of Laporte.
Come May, we will regret losing this game.
Right, and that's my question is like, so we're all pretty much in
How
agreement.
much? How much so?
Are you saying we're
Look at
gonna
where
regret it
we
'cause
were a year ago, and we got blown out by Brighton at home, and then we lost to Palace. And then, like, we all celebrated because we beat Everton, but every point matters. Everybody's
I mean, it
good.
does. It does,
agree
but
that
we're
every
gonna
point
drop
matters.
points.
I don't think we're going
We
to
are gonna
regret
drop points.
this game.
Look,
if we
We're gonna
go
regret
next
something
week
that's gonna be a loss
and
like
lose
Southampton
to
or
Bournemouth
something.
away, yeah, we'll regret because we should
Agreed.
absolutely be winning that game.
But here's the thing. So we're all pretty much in agreement that Liverpool and City are not the juggernauts this year that we expect them to be.
No,
Right.
No.
And like I'll admit to it might have been the last pod of the pod before where I said, look, we have to spend wisely and spend perfectly because we don't have a fucking oil
yeah, we
derrick
can't
of money.
buy players like City just so other
Right.
people can't
Poor
have
man.
them.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, like I feel like the strategy is sound of only buy the players we want, right? But like you look at like this year, I think we had enough. Like I feel like 4 or 5 weeks is honestly enough to get a pulse on the way the season is going to go, or like has the potential to go. Like, how do you not look at that and go, you know what, shit? If we buy one more midfield as insurance,
Exactly.
Yeah.
We are where we were last year. We were 1 or 2 players away from being really successful.
right?
And even though we have 5 subs now, but you look at who's coming in, and I mean, were they going to get us the win?
But here's the
Who
thing, like,
came in? Eddie Nketiah,
ESR.
Fabio Vieira,
And
ESR.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it was a great change
Are these
because
shit
we were
play- I
we were
don't
down.
understand.
two.
I'm not saying that a transfer would have made a difference in this game, but I'm looking at the congested.
it wouldn't have.
No, it wouldn't have.
No.
But I'm looking at the congested fixtures ahead and the things that they have the opportunity to do that we haven't seen yet, and it's just like.
Are we talking about one player? How many players are we saying that one player would solve everything?
No.
I'm not saying solve everything. I'm saying one more midfield
There's
player.
not that much to solve, even. To be
My
fair.
butthole would be a little less clenched if we had one more
All right.
depth player in midfield. That's all I'm saying.
Fair.
All right,
So who should that player be?
Tielemans.
Like who?
Right.
Who?
And number 6 because
Yeah,
Samuel
Tielemans is not a number 6, so.
Yeah, but
But,
he can play that role.
But
a
it's number 8.
number-
He's terrible at a number 6. He's a number 8.
We needed a 6. And we did not get it. We tried so hard.
Yeah.
And all credit.
Honestly,
all credit
Villa,
to him.
it's for me, it's dumb of them as a club because if they want to cash in on any, he's not signing a new contract.
No, he will
same
not.
as Tielemans.
And he's gone.
If they want to cash in on any sort of value, they should have taken
But
10 million
that's the
pounds
new
for him, but,
Premier
like,
League.
That's why I think
These
Arsene
are
Wenger
really
said,
eating
Arsene
up
Wenger
these
said
contracts.
people are going to run out their contracts.
Yeah.
Tom talks about it all the time. Arsene Wenger predicted this like
Here we are.
years ago before it really even became a thing. And here we are. Douglas Luiz is going to run out his contract.
Yep.
Yuri
Tielemans
Tielemans. These are quality players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
This
think-
isn't Yaya Snogo running down his fucking
I
you
do,
know what I mean?
I do think we have a chance to get one of those
January,
two
yes.
in January because
I
I think
agree. I think
one.
we have a
I
chance.
think,
And it's-
especially because Leicester. I'm telling you right now, I truly think
They are bad.
Come January
Dumpster
1,
fire.
Leicester will have less than 20 points.
That's wow.
And I want to say it has to be admired.
That's a big call. I think we should. That's a big call.
Villa refusing to sell Douglas Luiz. I know we moan and groan about it, but it has to be admired because here is a club just standing up for their principles and just saying, "We need you."
But
We
if
need
Arsenal were to do that, we'd all be bitching right now.
you. of course,
We'd all be fucking bitching. And so I'm like,
But Arsenal and Villa are in two different stratospheres, though.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, I almost agree. I think it's an admirable thing. I think it's a financially stupid thing.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
sure.
Villa are a club that
'Cause
need
they-
money for
they-
their good players.
because Villa. Signed,
Imagine if Jack Wilshere. Imagine if Jack Grealish had run down his
a
contract.
free.
Are you
Right.
fucking? Now he was born there. He's a Villa kid. He would never have done that to the club. He would have signed a new contract just to protect his value for the
right.
club. He would never have done that. But just imagine if he would have, like. My God, it's going to become not an epidemic because players are allowed to do this, but it's not, and it's the one time. And the thing is, I'm all for player movement in sports. I talk about this, and this is not a basketball football podcast, but I talk about this all the time. The thing that LeBron does, sign 2-year contracts with like a player option for the third year. He controls his mobility every few years.
Yeah.
And I think that players should be able to do that because if a team finds you not useful, they will drop you like a fucking bad habit.
Yeah.
And you have really no say in the matter. The way these contracts are written, they can drop you and they don't have to pay you this much money and blah 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 blah. So like I'm okay with player movement in this way. I'm okay with running out your contract and putting the decision on yourself as opposed to your team saying we're trading you here, whatever.
Well, but like the moves. That's the thing though. Like Tielemans and Douglas Luiz, those were not the players saying, "Nah, I want to see my future out." Those
Both
are the
players
teams.
wanted to come to Arsenal.
Right.
Yes,
those are the
that's a
teams saying,
fact.
"Nah, we're
Yep.
not selling them."
Well, I'm not sure we ever even bid for your Tielemans.
No, we didn't.
not.
We didn't.
We
but my
agreed to
point being,
personal
like, this
terms.
this window was not so much player empowerment as team obstinance.
Oh, so I'm talking about when Douglas Luiz runs down his contract and when Yuri Tielemans runs down his contract. If we don't buy either of those players in January, I'm all for that. I don't think it's like a bad thing. I don't
Sure,
think they're
sure.
shitty for doing that.
No.
like
I
they
agree.
sign a contract and they're like obligated to like see out that contract.
Sure, and that's
Like,
fair.
we can't bitch at them for
but like,
that. you
But,
know what I
but
mean?
like this window, the inaction to sign either one of those guys is not like something
No.
that these players took control of their destiny.
No,
These
yeah.
are the teams being stupid and not taking money for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, not necessarily Leicester because no one bid for Yuri Tielemans. In Aston Villa's case, that is the case
Yeah.
with Douglas Luiz.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But Tielemans is a different. I think we were trying to play a clever game here, and
And Villa, they're fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
I honestly believe they're bored. Their board is sitting there going,
like we need this guy,
and we're trying to
gonna
stay
get
up.
relegated.
We just want to stay up.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
Villa just wants to stay up.
So you know what?
They're not
Maybe-
challenging anybody for anything.
If they stay up this year, maybe it was a good idea to
Right,
sure.
to give away or to lose an opportunity to get 30
just
million
to
or
stay
25
up,
million.
right. Well,
Maybe
it's like,
that's a
what's
good-
the
maybe
difference?
that's a
What's
good
the
thing.
difference in the payout between being in the Premier League and being in the Championship? I mean, you do the
Significant.
math on that.
Shitload.
you know.
Right.
Significant.
Well,
It's way more than the 25 million they would have gotten for him.
winning,
Yeah,
winning,
for for Dallas
getting
to lose.
promoted is the biggest payday in football.
Right.
And,
I mean, look at fucking Forest. They've
that's
signed,
where I was going.
They've signed a team and a half worth of dudes.
19
and
players.
they still don't have a 25-man senior roster. That's they were in bad
the best
shape.
meme
Yeah.
about it, I saw a meme the other day on Twitter. It was a double-decker bus, but they photoshopped it to have 4 levels. And it
Yeah,
said,
Nottingham Forest's new team.
here's their team bus. They bought. I want to say
They
bought
signed 92 guys,
19.
bro. Like,
19,
Yeah,
19
yeah.
players.
19.
It's by far the record in one win.
It's got to be double the record.
It's shattered the record
with
yeah.
no shirt sponsor.
yeah.
No
How does that
sponsor.
happen?
I kind
How does
of
that happen?
like that they have their uniform,
Yeah.
their kits
I mean,
look really
it's
clean.
clean as shit, but also
Yeah.
where the fuck is this money coming from?
Well, it's
It's
promotion
promotion
money.
money. It's promotion
Are we
money.
having a legit
Yeah.
Robin Hood moment right now?
You're getting-
And they
Where
were
you're
gonna
robbing
say
the rich and giving to the
it's
football
promotion
club?
money, but also in this sport you can leverage the possibility of future earnings to buy.
Oh,
players.
sure.
So
And I
because-
wanted them to sign my son, and then he
Yeah.
wound up at Southampton.
Because the thing about it
Which
is
means he'll be on Liverpool in like what, 2 years?
Wait, which son?
You
Oh,
get-
your black son. Yeah, let's
you
go.
get a good chunk of money when you first get promoted,
Yeah.
but if you stay for a consecutive year, that next year of chunk of money is even greater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So they're
that's why it
betting
was
on
awesome that
yeah.
Brentford,
they're
Brentford.
selling.
I was,
Selling out to.
I was
yeah.
happy to see Brentford stay. I think their story is really cool and everything like that. So when
Yeah.
they stayed up, I mean,
I got a lot of time for
payout
Brentford.
on that second year. I mean, bro,
Bournemouth coming up, I was like, oh god, them again.
Again?
No, they're
Yeah.
gonna. They're that now.
They're
That's
going
gonna be
right
some.
back down.
That's gonna
Like
be some
Bournemouth
Derby
and
County
Swansea
shit.
are like the fucking Premier League shuttle, like up and down, whatever. Just get
I was
out.
happy-
Bournemouth is gonna be like some Derby County shit. They're
Sheffield,
gonna.
Sheffield United, by the way, looks like they're gonna get promoted.
Are they?
I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
they're
little too early
looking
to call
good.
that.
They've been a yo-yo club.
Yeah,
Or
but
they're gonna be
they're
a yo-yo
looking
club
good so
for-
far.
as long as it's not West Brom or Watford. Fucking hate it.
Yeah,
Norwich,
yeah, they can
Norwich
fuck
looks
off.
good right now
Where
too.
is
Norwich
Sunderland
can
still
fuck off,
League
too.
One or is Sunderland in the Championship by now?
Sunderland's in
They're-
championship.
they got
And they
promoted
look
to
good.
the championship.
Yeah,
So,
and
like-
they're third or fourth right
That's
now.
what I
I
want.
think.
So-
Sunderland is a
I
club
want-
that I believe belongs in the.
Yeah.
I want the Tyne and Wear Derby back.
Same.
That's
Same.
something.
And
to
they got
watch.
Tony Mowbray as manager now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like,
Let's
holy
go.
shit, was he a manager at a fucking service station somewhere? Like, what's he been doing?
Managed
Tony,
a Tesco.
right, Tony Mowbray. Like, Jesus.
Real quick, because
Kieran Tierney got his Tesco bag from Tony Mowbray
Yeah, there you go.
while he's managing Tesco.
I do want to go back to the point that Tom was making about, when you made the statement of in May we're going to regret this loss, and did I want us to win and did I think we could win? Yes, I'm on Joey. I'm on Joey's side when he made that statement earlier. Reality check wise, we all have to keep in mind since 2006 we've beat Man U at Old Trafford 3 times.
This is our second loss against United in the last like 10 games,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, is
and-
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing well against United in the last 3 or 4
We,
years.
we only had one loss against them in the last like 8
Because
or 9
we
games.
had not
before
had a
today.
league win at Old Trafford in a long time.
There's been a lot of draws,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we haven't lost.
But
We've had
most
2
people
league,
don't go to Old
Yeah,
Trafford.
we've had
anymore.
2 league wins and 1 FA Cup win at Old Trafford since 2006. So, me saying reality check is not saying, oh, I expected us to lose. No, I went in expecting us to win because we are technically in better form, right? But I also had in the back of my mind, like, if we lose, it's not the worst thing,
Right.
It's not the end of the world.
Right.
No.
We shouldn't be like, I just don't want this group. This is a group of smart people, the 4 of us. I don't want us to turn into some of the bullshit I'm sure to see on Arsenal Twitter later on.
That we've already seen.
Arteta
No,
out
nobody's doing that.
and all this bullshit.
No,
and it's
no,
like,
no.
bro,
No,
we
no.
were so good at the beginning of the season that we lost today,
Yeah.
and we're still top of the table.
And
Like,
anyone that is trying to say that the substitutions we made when we were down 2-1 is the reason why we lost, I'm sorry.
we had to go for the game.
We are down
Yeah.
2-1. We have to try. We have to
Bringing on
try.
Nketiah was a sound move.
No, it
Yeah,
is.
ESR,
Rob Van
Vieira.
Dyke, I hope you listen to this. I'm fucking blocking you on Twitter for the idiot fucking opinion you put on Twitter. That shit was stupid, bro. I do love you, but that shit was fucking stupid.
No,
bro.
I mean, we made the right moves
If
today
we
in
played
this
them
game.
again next weekend,
without Paul Tierney as the ref.
what do we do differently?
I don't think we win
We
the
don't do
goddamn
anything.
game.
We don't
do
do
nothing
anything
differently than win the game.
if
I
we
think-
play them not with Paul Tierney and maybe not at
Yeah.
Old
No,
Trafford,
I-
where they're
no.
going to get every call.
I think we win at Old Trafford with
just
a better
without Paul
ref.
Tierney. Yeah,
Yes.
fair enough.
I would say the only difference I would make, and this is what I'm about to say is not a knock on Ben White, because I thought Ben White actually played a really good game. Tomiyasu was faster. So Tomiyasu would have helped on the counter.
So
He
maybe
must just
start
not be
Tomiyasu.
Yes.
90 minute
Okay.
ready yet.
Does
No, I know.
Tomiyasu?
Yeah, that is my only guess.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I was just saying if we played this
Next week,
exact
while
game
he's-
next
yeah,
week,
sure.
right?
Start Tomiyasu and then bring Ben White in at 70 minutes.
Right,
So
right,
Serious
right.
Tomiyasu
question.
run out of gas.
Does
maybe.
Tomiyasu give us more going forward than Ben White does?
I think
Yes,
it's equal.
absolutely.
I think
Or-
I think Tomiyasu gives us
I think he gives more.
considerably
I think
more
at
going
worst
forward.
it's equal.
But also, you could put in.
Tomiyasu can score.
We're all
Yeah.
on the same page that both our center backs are poor today.
Yes.
You
Yes.
start Tomiyasu and put Ben White in for maybe Gabriel.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Right.
You could do that too.
Or you can put him in for Saliba. What Saliba can make mistakes. He made two today.
I picked a name. I was
No,
not.
okay,
I was not saying.
yeah.
My
I'm not saying
God,
one or
bro!
the other.
I was about to have a
they
fucking
both-
aneurysm.
no, they
I'm
both had
sorry.
bad games.
I misread
They
that.
both-
That's
yeah,
on
they,
me.
they were
Bad
both
games.
poor. So I'm just saying, like, you could have had one center
Yeah.
back have a better game.
Why are
than they
you
had
so
today, which-
Paul?
Yeah.
No, exactly.
They both. I mean, they both. Look, I know we say this. This kind of quote all the time. They both honestly look like chickens with a head cut off. Like they were getting spun around all over the place.
Yeah, Gabriel when he went for that sliding tackle.
Yeah,
That was just-
and then on the second goal, Saliba, the pass was coming in front of Saliba, right? And Saliba
Yeah.
turned the other way. Instead of just turning his shoulder left, he decided to turn a 360, and by that point, Rashford was 3 steps by him.
A sliding tackle on a counterattack, 90% of the time is a bad idea.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
either you're going to get a card or he's going to get by
Right.
you, and there's no one back.
But if you
Mustafi.
play for Arsenal, the abuse you're going to get for not quote unquote giving your all.
Right, passion.
Oh, yeah.
P-A-S-H-U-N.
Bro, the fucking abuse. Oh, you could have slid right there. Like it's fucking.
Yeah,
But here's
It's not easy.
Talking
It's
about
not
guys
easy.
getting turned around and just like the nature of the attack and the defense. One thing that I will say that I noticed, it was probably like halfway through the first half, is that like there was a point where we were on the attack for a good 5 or 6 straight minutes because we never went for the outlet pass to the keeper. Now that's a bad thing, but I think
I
there's
think
been like
that's a good thing, actually.
no, I mean like not that an outlet pass is bad. I'm just saying that like
okay.
we've had a shift in our philosophy to where like when you're on the attack you press the attack.
Prolonged
right.
pressure.
Like the last year and
And
a
it
half.
almost, if we get hit on the counter, we get hit on the counter. It is what it is.
Right. But the last year
let's
and a
try to
half,
get
we're
this
in those
goal.
positions where like we recover the ball somewhere on the wing, and it's like, oh shit, just get it back
Yeah.
to the midfield to get it back to the keeper to reset the attack. No, there was that sustained period at the end of the first half where we just kept on going, and that was different.
Yeah,
Right.
it was about, and I tweeted it on our Richmond Gooners, where it was about 5 minutes of just constant pressure. Where even when they cleared it out, it was during that same stretch where they tried to counter against us, and Sambi had bodied out that counter opportunity, which allowed I think either Saliba or Gabriel, who was there, to then put it back in, and we kept that pressure going.
Right.
So like everyone was absolutely on point during that 4 to 5 minute stretch. And we didn't get a goal, which was unfortunate, but we definitely had the chances.
I was sure we were going to get a goal.
Yeah,
during
I was
that
too.
exact stretch that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
What do we think about that? Remember early doors when Saliba had the one-timer that went wide?
Oh yeah.
And it was, think about it. Martinelli, if he buries that and they allow it, and then Saliba buries that and they allow it,
Game over.
yeah.
Yo, we at that point we go on and we get 4.
Look, here's
My shirt
here's
is
my
off
thing.
at that point.
If
My
Martinelli,
pants might be off
I'm
at that
taking
point.
my fucking dick out if that happens.
I will. What I'm about to say, I'm going to say with my entire fucking chest.
Uh-oh, he's getting his dick out.
If Martinelli's goal did not get disallowed, we would have won 3-0.
Absolutely.
Sure.
We would have won 3-0.
Yeah, I'll say that with chess too.
And dick
Because
and
let me tell
balls.
you something. This team, I think is one where when they kind of get in the mood to score goals, they can
Yep.
really open the floodgates.
Because that goal also happened right when we had stopped.
Yeah.
Their
Yes.
first 15
I
minutes.
honestly-
Right,
we
that team reminds me of the Alexis Ozil team,
Yeah.
where like a team could score a goal on us, and then we could score 4 goals in
Yep.
Yeah.
30
And
minutes.
it's like
I
whatever.
honestly
like it
believe-
seems like every time we go down, it looks like we're going to score.
Yeah.
I honestly believe the players in the locker room at halftime said, "Why are we bothering?" Because it's 12 against 11, and no matter what we do,
It was 13 against 11 because VAR was against them too.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. So it's embarrassing sometimes. It honestly is, because
What, the state of VAR?
yes, and,
Yeah,
and,
100%.
and also when there were things that could have gone our way, like
Yeah.
why is this not controversial when they go VAR check completed?
Yeah.
Bro,
Well,
and
you
then,
said
and
about
then the soccer
one
thing,
this morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Will
goal
was like,
disallowed
Will
this
said it was
morning.
5
Yeah,
seconds or less.
Yeah,
and then
5
check
seconds.
complete.
Yeah, but then in the
How?
And you know the fix is in when they don't even show you the replay on
Yep,
TV.
Yep.
Right.
Because the other point.
And then like they would like if they were to like, let's see a replay, like let's look inside the VAR booth.
Let's see the screen that they're looking
All
at.
seats would
Yeah.
have been empty.
Yeah. Because the point that I
Tell
made
us
this
when
morning.
they pan away and we'll go back to our
Yeah.
seats.
During
It
the
was-
first game this morning.
they weren't taking any calls that
when
day.
they
bicycle goal.
Yeah, when
Bicycle kick.
when they called back that gorgeous goal. I mean, I'm telling you what, man. That if that goal didn't get disallowed,
Goal of the season.
it would have been goal of
question.
the season. That strike was brilliant.
Yeah.
And
VAR has been shambolic
and
the last
fact that
48
VAR,
hours.
like, it wasn't called offside in the game, and VAR is like, oh well, he technically was offside. And look, I get it by law, yes, but VAR said, and the Premier League said when they came into the season that they're going to apply VAR in the spirit of the game, as you have said, right? The spirit of
That
the
has
law,
not been-
and
No,
that
not
has
even
not
close.
even
Right.
remotely
Not even
been the
close.
case
No.
because the spirit of the game,
That's a really
soccer
good
would have had
point.
a penalty.
Right.
It's a really good point,
Yes.
Will.
Yes.
It's a really good point.
And I've harped on that for forever. I think VAR should be limited to full speed replays only.
Yeah.
Controversial
if you want to look
calls.
at controversial calls and full speed replays only.
Yeah.
If you want to look at it,
Every
fine.
fucking thing
but you
is
watch it
reviewed.
at full speed. You don't
Get
fucking
the
freeze
same
frame that
speed that
shit.
the referee saw it at.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. You don't get
Yep.
to go one frame at a time.
I know.
And see if
'Cause-
someone's dick
that-
tip
yep,
got
is
off
offside.
offside.
Because that's what they did for the Martinelli goal. They
Right.
they literally, he watched every replay because we could see his screen.
Yeah.
Every replay was this.
Yeah.
Now,
It
and
wasn't
again,
full speed.
that was a foul, but the point
Full speed,
being,
it wasn't.
I honestly,
Right.
I honestly need to see it again. Are we like it was a foul?
I feel like
Because what
I feel
happened
like if it
was-
was against us, we'd be calling for foul.
Okay, what happened was we celebrated the goal. We went apeshit
You
in here.
left.
And
Yeah.
then as soon as VR came up, I took my vape
Yeah.
and I went outside
Yeah.
because I was like,
So-
I know they're going to disallow.
Yep.
It doesn't even matter if
No.
it's a foul or
And
not.
that's true.
I knew they were going to
You're
disallow.
right.
So here's
I knew
what
regardless
I
of
didn't
the
even
call
want to
it
see it
would.
happen.
Yeah.
If it was called a foul on the field, right then and there, I would have agreed with it.
Right.
But the moment when I saw it live, I don't know if either, because all three of you sat right next to me. I don't know if any of you had heard me say this. I had said when I saw it live, that's not a foul.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I
and
heard
Paul,
you, I heard
and
you.
Paul Tierney live did not have it
He
as a
agreed
foul.
with
Right.
you. He
Right.
agreed with you live.
Right.
Yeah.
It was not controversial. There's no reason to review
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
It's the referees making the game about themselves, and
Also, the
ultimately,
United players surrounding him and bitching
Yeah,
right.
at
Right.
Old Trafford.
and ultimately what
to a
stinks.
guy that probably has at least some form of sympathy for Man United.
Right, because he's from Salford. But here's what stinks.
Mancunian referee.
VAR ruins a fucking game because you want to enjoy yourself as a fan. There's no.
Right.
There are a few things in life
My
that.
God.
Yeah, I know. I thought the I thought the mushrooms wore off. But to see your team score a
Bing
goal and lose your mind is arguably one of the greatest sensations.
It's fucking during
Yeah.
that
and
that 20
VAR is
seconds.
It ruins it.
and they ruined it.
Us two screamed at each other's
We
faces.
just will I just
Oh, yeah.
screamed
We
in
just
each
looked at
other's
each other.
face. Yeah,
And-
just
and it's-
sheer happiness.
and they're fucking killing it because
They're killing it. They're killing it.
It's like having the because here's what we do: we cheer, but then there's still like this.
I know.
You have to wonder.
They're
You
like,
wonder.
are they going to allow? Are they going to allow?
Three
it?
goals we've scored this year. When I've been
Paul
here,
Tierney, I hope your wife grows a cock. I honestly do. Jesus.
I did it. Was that the
Yeah,
sound?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, he played the sound.
All right,
Oh,
look.
my
What I
God.
was
Listen,
about to
it's
say-
all- I
You're
feel
right
like-
though. Like
I
the
feel
whole
remiss
thing.
for not having
Yeah.
done the standard black person thing, which is to get up and walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like
so-
I'd have to take all this shit off, and
Yeah.
I'm like, but
All
I
right.
would have if we were just sitting here talking, I would have got up and ran away.
So the point I was going to make to what
And he
you just
might
said-
like that.
Maybe-
I'm not judging.
Maybe Tom is funny to the point from a couple
Yeah.
podcasts ago.
Yeah,
Maybe
see?
he is.
So,
I'll
but-
give you your flowers on that.
So the
That
point I was
fun.
going to make to what you just said, three times this year already, when I've been here
That was
and
funny.
I've seen us score 3 goals. While everyone else was celebrating, I stayed sitting in my chair because I truly thought
right.
that we were either offside
And
or
it
there was
sucks.
going to be something.
As a fan, it sucks.
And then when it ends up,
Yeah, the
when,
fan experience from
and those
VAR.
and those 3 goals ended up standing, and then I'm like, well, now I missed
didn't
out
even-
on
I didn't
You
even celebrate.
Yeah.
I assume this was going on after the goal. Like Martinelli celebrated like you normally would, right?
Yeah.
Then he stood up and he's like, "Oh God!" Like, and that was not like an all praise to God for the goal. That was like,
That was
"Please God,
please,
don't
And
call
as
this
soon as
offside."
they said VAR,
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"Son
we
of a
knew.
bitch."
That's why you saw me. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going outside."
right.
Yeah.
It
And
is
to Will's point, VAR has done something to almost ruining a lot of parts of the fan experience.
Yeah,
The
Brighton-
and
supporter
not
All the
just for
Brighton fans
us.
today.
Not just for us. There are a lot of teams.
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of teams.
Look,
That's,
Bright-
that's across the board.
Brighton ended up winning 5-2, but the way they celebrated that
Oh,
goal,
yeah. It was a
I mean,
worldie.
it was a
Because of
world-class
course.
goal. It was
Yeah,
a
if
world-class
I'm
goal,
on the
and
field,
then-
if I'm on the pitch with you and you score that goal, I'm losing my fucking
Yes.
mind.
right,
Yeah.
I'm losing my
Bright-
entire
Bright-
shit if I
I
saw
mean,
you score
yeah.
that goal.
You'll
I'll
be an
play
old
sweet.
man in a rocking
Yeah.
chair going, remember that time I had
Yeah.
that worldie?
Yeah.
Right.
Remember that time?
Yep, that place. I mean, Brighton,
what it should be.
Brighton was home, and they were bouncing.
Yeah.
I mean, they were bouncing,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Yeah.
VAR offside. And it they were
Fuck's
booing
sake.
while they were checking because it took forever to check.
It's the refs making the
Now,
game
can-
about themselves.
Yeah. Can
They
we
are
also- can we
attracting
all-
attention to themselves.
100%.
Yeah.
It's I call it Martin Clattenburg-itis. Can we also talk about two of the and potentially a third, but in the last 24 hours, or the last 36 hours, two of maybe the worst VAR decisions I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The Jared Bowen foul on Edouard Mendy for
his goal.
Oh,
for,
God.
yeah,
Oh, my
for,
God.
who's
So
that
bad.
scored for West Ham? It's the dude they bought from Maxwell Cornet.
Yep.
From Maxwell Cornet's goal, which was a screamer.
Yep.
I mean, Jared Bowen. And first of all, Jared Bowen saw that he wasn't quite going to get there, and actually
He pulled up.
He kind of
Right.
had a body shape that was like, oh, I don't want to step on him. He kind of did this.
Yes.
And Mendy has absolutely conned the referee because he just stayed down hurt.
Yes.
And he kind of forced the issue. But then it's on the referee that the referee then looked at
Yeah,
that
and be like, nope.
and said that was a foul. That was the most bullshit. And then
And yet Ramsdale wasn't a foul on the fucking corner.
well, that's the
Right.
third. But Newcastle, Crystal Palace is the worst VAR decision I've ever seen.
I haven't seen this one
from
yet.
from the who scored the goal? I think it was an own goal on Gahey, or it might have been Gahey, or it might have been somebody else. But oh no, I think it was Gahey. But the Crystal Palace's left back Tyrick Mitchell, basically they're going for an airborne ball. Joe Willock, former Arsenal player Joe Willock, is completely airborne. He's completely in the air. Tyrick Mitchell straight shoves him into Nick Pope. And the referee, with a VAR decision, calls a foul on Joe Willock.
Jesus Christ.
For getting shoved into Nick
his
Pope
own keeper.
by Tyrick Mitchell.
Jesus
So what
Christ.
happened is Tyrick Mitchell, Crystal Palace player, shoves Joe Willock, Newcastle player,
Into his own keeper.
into
Nick Pope.
not Nick Pope, Guaita, into
Yeah, yeah.
Guaita, Crystal
Yeah, yeah.
Palace keeper. Now, in what world did Joe Willock have any
That's
control over
bullshit.
that?
Let's talk about Wednesday,
It's
to your
the
point.
worst. It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Let's talk about
and
Wednesday.
then the third one, you talking about Ramsdale? Yeah,
Villa. With Villa.
I don't even remember who it was. Who was it? Was it Mings? Who was it?
I can't
wasn't
remember. It was
Mings.
Douglas Luiz that scored, which come
Right.
on.
Yeah, no.
He
Who
did not
was,
deserve that
who
goal.
was? Who
I
was
wanna say-
holding
I-
Ramsdale?
It was a full on groping.
I
was
want to
holding
say
him?
it was Ollie. What is?
Ollie Watkins.
Watkins.
It might have been Ollie
I
Watkins.
think it was
yeah.
Ollie Watkins. It was.
I mean, he's got his arms wrapped around him,
Yeah.
like just behind him,
Literally.
like this.
What does he?
and
What
they're
does he
saying
need to
there's
do?
no
What does he need to do to get
world
that
all-
whistle?
all the post game people in the booths,
All of them agreed.
They all said that was a good call. They all said that it was a good call because Ramsdale didn't do enough.
There's
I'm
no
like, how
world.
can he?
Like, what are you
How can he
supposed to
do
do?
There's
more?
no world where
Is
that's
he
not
supposed to
impeding
do
the
what fucking
goalkeeper.
Martinez did
If he-
on
if-
Gabriel
because-
Jesus?
Yeah.
When he put like a fucking reverse.
If
Yeah.
Ramsdale shoved him
weekend
out of the way,
clothesline?
if
It's a foul.
Ramsdale,
It's a penalty.
if Ramsdale shoved him out of the way,
It's a
which is the
penalty.
only thing he could have done,
It's a penalty.
it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what the fuck is he supposed to do?
There's no world where that was not impeding the goalkeeper. There's no universe
And then,
where that's not
like
impeding
10
the
minutes
goalkeeper.
later, they
will
called it the
happily
other way on a
die
much
to my
softer ass
grave.
call.
Yeah.
It's Arsenal
With that
versus
stance.
everyone.
It is.
If
And
you're looking for a tattoo idea or a T-shirt,
Arsenal versus everyone.
Arsenal versus everyone.
I tweeted that the other day. It's fucking Arsenal
Yeah.
versus everybody, baby.
And
And,
that's
that's
the
why
thing.
this loss, I'm still gonna fucking stand by my club. I feel like
100%.
Stuart McFarlane now. This is my fucking club.
yeah,
I fucking
I
love
fucking
this
love this
club.
club. Exactly.
And
And
I
that's
love
why it
this
stinks.
fucking club.
It's I'm not gonna get over this until we win the next game.
Yeah.
This really, really, really fucking
Yeah,
hurts.
I feel the
A
same
loss
way.
against
These guys
United-
are
a loss
fucking
against United.
dickheads,
It's
man.
A
Yeah,
loss
it is.
against
So-
United, it hits different than a loss against other people.
Right.
But a loss in this
Even,
manner.
almost even Tottenham and Chelsea and London Derby rivals
Yeah.
or London rivals or whatever.
Because, yeah,
But, like,
with
it just-
Tottenham,
it
like,
just
they get
hits
their
because of
venom
what
up.
United meant in the early 2000s.
Yes, because of
you
the
know?
Arsene Wenger, Alex
And
Ferguson.
we were the fucking butcher, Lisandro Martinez. The butcher got slaughtered today. He was shit.
Yeah, he
No,
was
their
there.
wingbacks had nothing.
Yeah.
He was
and then,
not good.
but down the middle, man, if we play them,
It's they did a Crystal Palace on us, and
Yeah.
that's what happens. But listen, you can't go through if you play like that, then you'll be mid-table like Crystal Palace is almost every year.
Right. And
Because
that's the
that,
thing, like-
that sort of play is not sustainable
No.
across an
and
entire
I have no
season.
idea who Man United has next, but I guarantee whoever they are, they're gonna beat them. They're gonna lose.
I
Man
think
United-
they will too. I don't even know who.
Man
they are.
United is
I
gonna
think
like.
they're gonna
Let's, I'm
fucking
just
lose
pulling a
the next
name out of a
one.
fucking.
I mean, they've got to have a Champions League game coming up, right?
Yeah,
Man,
they have. They're in Europa League, but they have Real Sociedad,
They do.
then they have Crystal fucking Palace.
Right.
I was gonna say Palace. I was gonna say Palace.
Yeah.
Palace is going to do them 3-0.
Palace is taking points off of like
3-0.
three of the top
Yeah,
6 teams.
Except
They're
us.
like the big 6 or whatever.
Except us.
And that's the thing. It's just like, look,
They're taking points off of Liverpool and Manchester City
right.
this season.
Yep.
United should
Haven't
not
they?
be like United
Or-
aspires
yeah,
to
one of
be
those
a
teams.
team that
It was
takes it to
definitely
every
Liverpool.
team
Yeah.
they play on any given day. They should not. United is not trying to be Crystal Palace, parking the
They
bus
beat Palace.
and countering. Right.
City beat Palace.
So like,
City beat Palace?
Yeah.
So they're taking points off of Liverpool.
Chelsea? Was it Chelsea?
Oh, Man City beat them. They're taking points off of Liverpool and Newcastle. So maybe not
Yeah,
any
yeah.
of the top 6.
No,
but besides Liverpool. But
it took a Erling Haaland hat trick
right.
for
The
City
second half
to
hat trick,
beat
yes.
them.
because that score was 4-2.
natural hat trick.
Yeah.
Palace didn't get the shit kicked out of them.
No.
It was 2-1, and then it became 4-2
2-0 at
real
half.
quick.
It was
Not a
2-0
Harry
at half.
Kane hat trick.
Yes,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
No,
Jesus
I
Christ.
think it was 2. Was it 2-0?
It was 2-0 at half.
2-0, and
It was
then
2-0 at
City
half.
scored 4 unanswered.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Palace had a chance to actually take it up 3.
Right.
ESPN UK had a tweet yesterday that said something about Harry Kane has scored as many goals or is about to score as many goals in the Premier League as Thierry Henry did, and the replies were absolutely wonderful.
And what has he fucking done with it?
Yeah.
And
And,
it-
also in how many years?
Just a penalty merchant and just cheating and diving. Thierry Henry went to Barcelona, won a World Cup with France. Thierry Henry is good enough in his prime, could have walked into any starting
club.
11 in the
Any
world.
club.
Yeah.
Harry Kane, if Harry Kane had gone to City, on the goddamn bench
Yep.
Yeah.
behind Haaland.
Yep.
No, Harry
Because
Kane.
they still would have.
life, bing bang.
Exactly.
Harry Kane, if he wants to go to Real Madrid, on the goddamn bench behind Benzema.
Yeah, oh,
If
absolutely.
he goes to PSG, on the goddamn bench.
Bench behind Mbappe. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Harry Kane.
On the goddamn bench. Yeah.
Oh, all he had to do was pass the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
And England ends up fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Harry Kane's a fucking mom,
and Tom gets banned from Facebook,
amongst other things.
amongst
Sorry.
other things. But yeah, I mean, this is. I'm not discouraged by this result.
No, I'm not.
I feel like I wouldn't say I'm encouraged, but at the same time, like this game just kind of happened. I think we're the
Yeah.
better team.
I'm
Some
dying.
Shit got weird. Let's
I know-
get at it against Zurich next, on Wednesday, on Thursday.
Zurich Insurance.
And then I think we have Everton,
Yeah.
who are in poor form.
Right.
Well, they got the draw against Liverpool yesterday, so
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that,
That
they're in
doesn't-
poor
yeah.
form. Liverpool are also
It's
in poor form.
Merseyside Derby. They're
Yeah,
right.
going to show
At
up.
Everton,
home, at
yeah.
home, yeah. Well,
and I was shocked that
last
Everton
time
held-
at home too, because their new
And
stadium's
how
ready
is
next
it?
year.
How is it Everton held on to that guy Gordon for he got what? Chelsea offered like 35 mil for that guy.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the summer of saying no, we're not selling. I guess.
well, Anthony,
Jesus, he gets 35 mil. We get fucking nothing for Hector Bellerin, and
Yeah.
and Southampton just bought a guy from Man City who no one's ever heard of for 12.
Gordon's worth more than 35 mil.
Is he?
Yeah, with his youth and his potential.
I think he's worth more than 35.
I think
now.
he's closer to 45, 50.
Yeah, it's not the 60 that's being
no,
talked about.
no,
That's
no.
too much.
But I think it's 45.
And Chelsea
to 50.
has the money.
Yeah.
And Chelsea has
They
the
could have
money.
afforded it for sure, but Everton was right to say 35 is not
And
his
how?
value.
Let me ask this.
Also-
Maybe we can finish on this one. Sorry.
All right.
No. I just have one point to make, which
Okay.
is kind of a silly point, but you go.
Well, I feel like what I'm going to say is going to carry it, but
You want me to go first then?
yes.
How many games has Mike Feinberg been to that we've won? Can somebody get the stats on
What
this?
actually at
Live.
stadium?
He was
Live.
undefeated. He was
Live.
undefeated. He was undefeated
Okay, he
until
was
today.
undefeated
Oh,
until
shit.
today.
Until
Okay.
today.
I just wanted to know.
Hashtag FFIU. Feinberg fucked it up.
Also, I was like yesterday years old when I learned that Feinberg picks his FPL teams, or his fantasy football, American football teams, for names that have the word Jew in them, like Juju
God.
Smith-Schuster.
Oh,
And
my.
it-
Well,
so
there's a
anything that
guy-
sounds like Jew. He picks them for his team.
Interesting.
That's
And he said
hilarious.
this. I'll try to.
And of course I wasn't surprised because of course Feinberg would do that.
So shout out to Mike Feinberg at Gooners Podcast,
Yeah.
dear friend.
Yeah, we love Feinberg.
I had dinner with Mike Feinberg last weekend. and-
Also, just
Mike Feinberg is a dear friend.
come up with a
And
better
he
way to
told
pick
me.
your fucking fantasy
I had
football
Christmas
team,
dinner
bro.
So-
with Mike Feinberg just this past year.
All right,
so what I was going to
yeah.
say was, Aubameyang going to Chelsea.
Oh, we're gonna end it on this?
Yeah.
I'm sour, and
I just
do we, as Arsenal fans, do we have the right to be sour that money is changing hands and none of it is coming our way.
Well, so
You have the right to feel whatever you feel. I'm never going to say your feelings are invalid. What
But,
I will say,
as Arsenal fans, should we be salty?
I am so unbothered by this
Okay.
that I forgot about it until you mentioned
So
it
here's
just
the
now.
thing.
To
So-
quote Troops,
Because
they're
he
not-
was so fucking bad for us and was taking so much money off
But
of
the
our
money-
wage bill.
yeah.
But the money, like the fact
We
that he's
came out ahead by not having to
Yeah.
pay him £1 million every 3 weeks. He made £1 million every 3 weeks that he sat there and did jack shit for us and show up late to
Yeah.
shit and take unauthorized trips. He made £1
and
million
this is what
every
I- this is
3
what I said
fucking
on-
weeks. Get rid of him.
This is what I said
Eddie
on
was
Twitter.
totally spot on this.
was that, look, all of the free transfers that we have let walk, would it have been better had we made money off them? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Like, we should get money for these people, but
that
what
wasn't
I-
an option though.
No,
But
it was
you
no.
said-
Right.
But here's the
yeah.
thing. So, like,
I just wish we sold better.
well, sure.
really, really do.
I wish we did too, but at the same time, I would rather look at the club and say, look, ownership is willing to eat these contracts and get these freeloaders the fuck off the team.
Because
build
it's what's
the right
best.
thing.
To build the
It's
right
best for
team
the right
club.
thing.
It's
and
what's
also
best
to
for the
unload
club.
the wage bill. I think that's of more value long term than it is
Yep.
just saying we
Yep.
sold Aubameyang for $25 million.
So they-
Also,
Hector-
the people that are blaming Arteta and Edu for this
Oh,
current
yeah,
regime
so
are
stupid.
fucking cunts.
well, that was the
Right.
watching the
Twats,
documentary, like
because-
seeing that shit go through at 10:59.
Yeah, 10:59.
Yeah.
Just they were
Yeah.
so desperate to get him out of there. The people that are like, we don't sell well. What we're experiencing now are the consequences of a past regime.
Yes.
It's the consequences. The
The
people
last
that
4
we
years of
signed,
Wenger and Emery.
Yes, the people that
Yes.
we signed on these bullshit contracts. Now we have people that have proven that they do good work in the market and that they put together good contracts that might protect players' value. But now we got to do something to get rid of that. That was only half the puzzle. The other half was how do we get rid of the bad shit that was already on the books?
Yeah.
And it's like, we got to
Right.
get rid of them at a certain point. And Edu said it best. If they're 27, 28, 29 and not producing, who the fuck is going to pay money
Right.
for these
Right.
guys?
And to your
It's
point,
better for us to pay them to go away because we'll save money because you don't have to pay them their whole wage for the rest of
Right.
the contract.
Yeah. Right.
It's better to pay them to fucking go away.
Right, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like,
And Bellerin, we didn't terminate his contract. We sold
Sold
him
him on a free.
for £0 with a sell-on
Sell-on
clause.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
but he
That's
only-
why I bring it up.
Yes,
That's why I
but
bring
he
it
only
up.
sell-on
signed for
clause.
1 year, so that sell-on
Yeah.
clause is basically
So-
worthless.
so
yeah.
Oh, you know he's going to Chelsea in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing I do want to say
You want to bring this? I know where you're
about
going.
Aubameyang, and it's Troops. It was Troops said it best.
So unbothered.
Which was they're not getting Obama blood clot Yang.
No.
They're just getting Abba.
Yeah.
Right? They're
Ooh.
getting Mamma
Yeah.
Mia.
Yeah.
Here I go again. That's who they're getting. They're,
They're getting
Abba.
the Alba that scored
Shout out to
basically
my man.
2
Yeah.
goals over the last
Straight
fucking
from
year
Troops.
he was here. And they think they're going to bring him back
Yeah.
into the Premier
Right.
League where he was
I-
bad for a full year
Yeah,
for us.
right,
And they
right.
think he's going to be the end-all, be-all score goals. They have no goal scoring that team.
Yep. Troops
I'm so
he was
unworried
spot
about
on.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I had Chelsea to finish, I
had
think,
him
5th.
third.
I had him
Oh.
fourth. I had him fourth.
And
I had him fifth.
I'm
I had
not
him
even
fifth.
sure
I
if
had
they're
him
going
fifth.
to do that.
I had
They're
them at third, and I was
Yeah, me too.
fourth.
But
I had
yeah.
them at third.
But yeah, no, they're
And
going to be
I had
Europa.
City by a mile. I was like with Haaland, and I'm still convinced, man. City.
That still could happen. It still could
They,
happen.
they probably won't win Champions League because
No, they won't.
they're going to go into a Champions League semifinal, and Haaland will be on the bench, and people are going to go, "What the fuck?" And I'm going to go, "That was me 2 years ago." Sometimes these finals, man, he picks these fucking wonky lineups.
Yeah, Pep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And you can the only logic behind it is he got paid to do that. This is bookie. Anytime you see something in a game where like that doesn't make sense, you got to go. Somebody's getting paid behind that. Follow the money.
Actually, you know
Yeah.
what, Katie? Sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's just, yeah. So it's that is one of those situations where like
And I hope they don't win Europe. I honestly don't.
Yeah.
I hope
that he doesn't win Europe.
That's
Man
all
City.
Pep wants. That's all he wants.
because if Man City wins Europe, that will ultimately prove that money can get you
Anything you
legitimacy.
want.
Yeah.
And Chelsea has done that in a sense. I mean, they
Yeah.
have 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I despise that. I mean, I hate Chelsea fans.
I
But I mean,
can't
who-
help but think
okay,
they
so, like-
fluked their way into 2 Champions Leagues. Like,
yeah,
They did.
yeah.
They really did. I
But
mean,
that final against
I
City.
can't take it. They won them those games fair and square.
Yes,
but,
they did.
But no one calls after both of Chelsea's Champions League wins. No one called them the best team in the world.
Right.
No,
Right.
No, they just called them champions
When,
of Europe.
you know,
After each of Real Madrid's last 5 championship wins, people were like,
Right.
"Hey, this
They're
team's
the
the best
best
team in the
ever.
world."
I mean,
Like,
yes.
yeah.
Case in point, when we lost to Barcelona in the Champions League, everyone said we lost to the greatest team in the world.
Yeah.
Right, which
you know
we
what
did.
I'm saying? Like,
We lost to one of the greatest
I
teams
did.
ever
Of all time.
ever
I-
assembled.
No. Samuel Eto'o was offside.
And also, Jens Lehmann lost his fucking mind.
Yeah.
I lie awake at night to this day, like a Vietnam veteran. I
Got
stare at the
PTSD
ceiling.
from that shit.
I have a ceiling fan, and I'm like Martin Sheen in Apocalypse
Yeah.
Now, staring at the. I fantasize
Ooh.
about going back in time and grabbing Arsene Wenger and saying, "Leave Robert Pires on the pitch for the."
Don't do it. Don't
Yeah,
do it,
well,
Arsene.
And tell Jens to let him score.
Just let him score. You'll recover.
Yeah.
But anyway, Joey's got to get to a wedding, so we need to wrap this shit up. So despite that loss, we are still top of the table, which, as Joey has pointed out, we put ourselves in the position to stay there. So next up, we open the Europa League campaign in Zurich Thursday. FC Zurich, shout out. The next league game, though, and hopefully the next podcast, unless work screws me over or the NFL crowd fucks us, is going to be next Sunday, 9/11, never forget, home to Everton, who had a good game this week, but, I feel like we should bounce back. So until then, I am Ryan here with Tom.
I know I'm supposed to be the franchise player. I know that.
And with Joey.
Joe Byron.
And with Will.
Yeah, Gunners, yeah.
Alrighty then. Catch you later.